So I've built thousands of Jira projects and I think I know what I'm doing by now, but that got me thinking, wonder what ChatGPT would tell me. And so in this video, I'm gonna be in ChatGPT and I'm gonna be prompting ChatGPT to help me build a Jira project end to end. And I don't know what it's going to do. This is totally unscripted. So I'm just gonna follow along and I'm gonna see, can you use AI, specifically ChatGPT, to reliably create a Jira project from end to end. And so in this video, we're gonna find out if you can trust ChatGPT or not, and we're gonna see if AI is ready to take over the role of a Jira administrator. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, drop a like, and let's jump in. All right, so on the left-hand side, I have ChatGPT, and on the right-hand side, I have Jira. And so I'm gonna create a brand new Jira project, and I'm going to assume that I know nothing. I am completely new as a Jira admin. I just got hired. This is my first Jira project, and I have nowhere to start. So I'm gonna take on that persona, and I'm gonna chat with ChatGPT. I am a new Jira admin, never created a Jira project before. I need help creating a Jira project for a software development team. Please walk me through all the necessary steps to create a Jira project for my team. Keep in mind, I have no idea what I'm doing. So I need your help to make sure we don't miss anything. And so the intent here is for ChatGPT to understand I have no idea what I'm doing at all. I've never made a Jira project before. I have just been given the keys to the Jira administration kingdom, and now I need to make a Jira project. So let's see what it comes back with. So absolutely, I got you. Let's walk through step by step how to create a first Jira project as a software development team. And I feel compelled that I should also tell you that I do not have the paid versions of ChatGPT. This is using the free version of ChatGPT. And I'm also going to make sure that whatever it gives me is something that you would be able to do on the free version of Jira. So if anything, if it gives anything, I'll call that out. All right, so as I'm walking down, we're gonna make sure we know what to click, what to choose, why each step matters, and common mistakes to avoid. So first, it wants us to go to our Jira site, and this is a great example. It understood that I tried to do the cloud. So bonus points for this one, because it didn't redirect me to like a data center version of Jira, but rather it wants me to do this in the cloud. So yay. Use your admin credentials to log in, obviously. Make sure you're logged in as a Jira administrator, not just a user. You won't be able to create a project. So this is great because this is telling me that somehow, fundamentally, ChatGPT knows the difference between a team managed project and a company managed project, at least to some degree, because it knows that only Jira admins can create projects. So we're also a good start. We're logged in though. Just to confirm on our Jira side over here, I am fully logged in. So as you can see on the top side corner, and I'm already inside of my Jira. So we're done with step one. Let's move on to step two. Create a new Jira project. From the left sidebar, click on projects, then click create project. So we're gonna expand our left sidebar. We're gonna click on projects. And then there is no create project, but there's a plus button here. So not really exactly, but close enough. So the word is actually accurate with the correct spelling. And so we're gonna click on create project. And the tip here is you might also see a blue create project button at the top right corner of your screen. And yeah, that would have been true if it would have told me to go to projects and view all projects, or more projects, view all projects. And eventually we get that blue create button. So yeah, so kudos that is correct. So awesome. On step two, we're off to the races here. Hi, I quickly wanted to interrupt your video to let you know about something big that I've been working on. I'm working on the big book of Atlassian, and this is going to be given exclusively away to attendees that show up to the Atlassian Builder Summit happening October 22nd through the 24th in Long Beach, California. This is a completely free event, a completely free book that you can only get if you come to our in-person event. This is something that's super awesome. I am really happy to be putting this together. You can only get this in person. So make sure that you attend our very free event. All you need to worry about is your travel accommodations. We do have discounts for hotels. Use that link down below. Sign up for the Atlassian Builders Conference, and I hope to see you in October. And come secure your free copy of the Big Book of Atlassian. I'll see you in October. Step three, choose a project template. Since this is a software development, you have two main choices. Recommended Scrum Agile, then select software development, then choose Scrum or Kanban if your team prefers continuous flow or instead of sprints. Scrum is great for sprint-based teams. Kanban is great for support, maintenance, and operations teams. This is exactly what I would have done. So I'm going to select software development. I do see then Kanban or Scrum, so I'm going to choose Scrum. And then we're going to click on use template. So far we are trending in the right direction. And so far, ChatGPT is not letting me, like, this is exactly what I would do as a Jira administrator. Step 4, configure the project type. You now need to choose a project type. Team managed, simpler, great for smaller teams. Company managed for more powerful. And folks, this is really where I want to see which path is it going to take me down. As a new admin, if you're going to start out, choose team managed if your team is small and just needs to get moving. Company managed if you want fine-grained control over workflows, permissions, and custom fields. I feel like ChatGPT has been trained on my videos because this is exactly what I would do. And it wants me to go with company managed since you're the admin and want to learn how to do this right. Wow. It's almost like if it knows me. So I'm going to click on the select company managed project here. That is what it's telling me to do. And that is the correct thing to do. And now we have step 5, enter project details, name, example. So we're going to name it just exactly what it gave me. So Team Phoenix Dev. The key, this is the project abbreviation like TPD. Jira would suggest one, but you can customize it. And project lead, leave as yourself unless someone else should own it. So far, so good. Then click on create. And so I actually have to scroll over to the right. And this is exactly what you need. You don't need to modify anything else on this screen. And awesome, you now have a working Jira project. So we're not done yet. Now we need to set it up properly for your team. So go to project settings, bottom left side of the bar. Okay, so here we have a couple of things that have been deviated. So we have the bring the team with you. You're gonna wanna skip over this. And if you don't have Confluence to connect, you can click continue there and proceed. Now, so far so good. I just missed those 2 steps on the inviting your team and Confluence. So I'll forgive, I'll allow. This is a newer thing. But here though, we've run into the first critical problem. We do not have project settings on the bottom left side. We actually have it in a very awkward place. So even ChatGPT is struggling with Atlassian's new UX design. And so again, Atlassian, you got to change this up. We need to go back to an easy way to get to our project settings because even ChatGPT can't describe in the left-hand side, hover over your project name and then click on more actions and then on project settings. So little deviation there on step 6, but we are now in project settings. Again, this is mostly Atlassian's fault and less on ChatGPT. Step 7, set up issue types. Again, newer change. These are now work item types. So again, I'll allow since this is such a newer change, but go to issue types. So we're going to go to work types or work items. The default is the epic story task bug and subtask. Add or remove issue types based on your team's workflow. So if your team follows Agile, keep epic story bug and subtask. And so I'm going to keep those here. This is great. We're going to leave step 7. Step 8 is go to workflows. The default is to do in progress and done, which it is indeed that. And so we're going to go to workflows. You can add custom statuses like code review, QA block, etc. You can edit the workflow to match how your team actually works. Now here, I think ChatGPT is getting a little lazy because yes, this is great. This is great advice, but it stopped telling me where to click. And so you will need to click on edit workflow here. And you will need to click on add status. And I would do something like code review. And I'm going to click on allow all. So all these steps that I just did right now, I was expecting ChatGPT to give them to me. Maybe if I told it to go back and do step 8, maybe it would get more granular, but I am expecting those steps because if you don't do what I just did, it's not going to work. And then you need to publish your draft, which is a very key and critical step. And again, it's missing here. So I'm going to do that. But ChatGPT, you're losing points on this one because I would have done a couple of extra steps, especially when it comes to configuring your workflows. Step 9, we have our screens and fields. So go to screens to find which field appear when creating, editing, or viewing issues. Add fields like story points, due date, or priority. Then go to field configurations, hide any unnecessary fields, and make important fields like priority required if needed. So half a point here. I would not do this exactly the way it's saying it, but yes, you're going to go to work item. You're going to go to screens. And yes, here is where you do define, but again, you're missing steps. Like it started off so strong. It started off so well with like following step-by-steps for creating the project, but now we're having to interpret things, right? Now we need to know what we're doing. And the things that I'm clicking on are steps that it's completely missing. So as a new Jira admin, I would be very lost and confused at this point. I think we started losing it downhill after step 8. I think up to step 7, we were fine. We were just reviewing things. But step 8 and 9, ChatGPT is getting a little lazy here and kind of leaving out some very critical steps. So I do not think that you would be successful in this and being able to follow these steps at this point. I think it's great to get you the project, but those fine tuning and the configurations, you might need to reprompt because this is not okay. This is not going to do us very well. especially this, right? Making fields important. This is a very fast way to cripple this. You would never make fields required like this. You need to do them in a very, very specific way. Adding fields like this is fine, right? So we can go to the issue screen here. Story points should already be in there. Let me double check. It's not. So let's just add it in. So we'll add story points. We're going to add due date. Due date's already in there. And priority should already be in there as well. So not really good examples because these three should normally already be in there. And it doesn't talk about anything with the subject of custom fields. So that's another miss here that I would do with the setting up screens and fields. I would most likely than not, you're going to be doing some sort of custom field. Step 10 is setting up the project permissions. So we're going to go to permissions, control who can browse, create, edit, assign. Okay. Mistake to avoid. Don't open permissions to anyone on the web. Good advice here. Use project roles, add a team member roles like administrator, developers, and viewers. Again, unfortunately, it doesn't walk us through how to actually do this. You have to be a Jira admin. You need to go to system. We then need to go to the sidebar here and look at project roles. And we need to define roles like developers and viewers. They don't just magically exist. And then it's not very clear how you apply the role to the permission. So that's a pretty big miss from my observation as well. So I think step 10, we're not setting up well. The other part that's missing is how do you integrate these roles with the permissions? And so you normally need to go into your project. And once you're inside of your project, you got to go and update the project settings, which given this new UI, we're just having to click an extra lot. And so once you're in here, you're going to go to permissions and you do need to modify. But the other thing that it's missing is that this scheme is the default one that is given to every software type. And so if I were to edit this scheme here and edit the permissions and then incorporate that developer and viewers role, had I made those, this is a pretty global change because every new project that isn't explicitly given a new permission scheme is automatically going to inherit this one. So while these instructions are okay, they're definitely missing a lot. And I would have added more of these gotchas that only seasoned Jira admins would actually know. Let's move on to step 11, which is go to the people in the project settings, add team members, and assign them to project roles. So here we go. We're finally back on track. We can actually go to people. I would have added a click on the blue add people button. Here's where you're going to add people and you will give them a role and then click on add one person. So again, I would have just added these particular steps that were present in the earlier steps and just missing down here. Up next, we're going a little bit more technical, setting up our boards. So go to your Scrum board. Your Scrum board will already be there if you chose Scrum. Customize your columns if needed and set up sprints and then configure swim lanes. So again, it just tells us some general things, but it stopped being very helpful. So we are going to go to our Scrum board here. It doesn't tell us to click on the ellipses here to go to board settings because you just don't customize your board settings like that. And so then from here, you do need to go to layout and to columns. And then you do have the ability to scroll all the way down and add a new code review status. So all of these steps that I'm doing right now are completely missing from the process. So we have our columns. We then have the ability, if we wanted to add some swim lanes if we want to, but you don't have to do it here. In fact, you can go back to your board and in the group by here, you can change it to one of these other items. So if you wanted to group them or have your swim lanes, you can do that. As we continue, we're down to step 13, optional but helpful for organizing. Add components, like big pieces for like the back end, the front end, the database. That's good. Doesn't really tell us again how to do it. So I'm taking some shots in the dark, but you go to components. You do need to be a project admin, so I would add that as well. Additionally, Atlassian about a year and a half ago did this dumb switch where you're forced to go use Compass. You got to click on this, turn that off, tell them to leave me alone. Stop forcing me into Compass. I just want regular Jira components. Tell them all of that. Hit submit. And then once you're back to the regular Jira components, then only your project admin, so whoever you gave administrator role to a couple steps ago, only they're going to be able to create these components. So again, we're missing some stuff. And then on the labels, these are usually defined by the end users or by literally anybody. You don't predefine your label, if you will. And so I wouldn't have added this one. I would have spent more time maybe on the release. Right, step 14 is add a dashboard. Optional but awesome. So go to dashboards, create a dashboards, and add gadgets like these. Yeah, I would do that, but that's probably the last thing I would do, but it's also why it's step 14. I don't know that I would actually do that though. And then we got create sample issues, which again has been renamed to work items. So create some epics, create some stories, link them to the epics, assign the work, and start a sprint. So skipping a whole lot of steps. I don't know that I would be successful again as a newbie following these steps because these are so generic, so high level that it's almost not valuable enough. I mean, it's great because these are things you do indeed need to do, but the devil's in the details, and it's how do you do them. You can always ask the question mark icon at the top right item for help. Which question mark is that? I didn't see that. Ask me for specific parts like workflow editing. Yeah, so this is kind of what I was thinking about. Let's just do it just for fun. I need more help with creating a workflow. So let's just see what this tells me. I'm not going to actually walk through these steps, but I'm just kind of curious to see what it'll tell me here because at this point, it's given me enough, but I'm more curious about these settings here. So go to the Jira settings, your icon, top right corner, click on issues, click on workflows, click on add a workflow. Technically correct, name your workflow, yep. Click add, yep. Add statuses, yep. So you'll be in diagram, so yeah, click on add status. So this is kind of more aligned with what I was expecting. Although I'm going to check for resolution. I'm going to see if it tells you to do a post function for your resolution. So let's keep going. We have our transitions, publish the workflow. This is good. And this says add your workflow to your workflow scheme. So you're going to go to your workflow scheme and then you're going to go, yep, these are the steps that I would do. You publish your scheme. You map your statuses. This is on your board. I don't know that. Okay. Yeah, no, technically you do this one. If they changed, this one would, yep, this would be applicable. And you create your new story. Okay. So yeah, so the only thing I would add here is that they didn't really address setting a resolution for when you go to like done. And so this is a bit of a miss because if you don't add the resolution, moving your work to done is not going to work out very well. You need to have that resolution. All right, so folks, there you have it. That was using ChatGPT to create a Jira project. If I had to grade it on a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably give it a 4, maybe a 3.5. I think it started off really, really well. It walked you through actually creating a Jira project, so 10 out of 10 there. But once we got into the details of adding the workflows, work item types, fields, custom fields, I think it went so high level that it was almost unusable. So am I worried that AI or ChatGPT is going to take over my job as a Jira admin? Definitely not yet. We'll probably do another follow-up one of these in 6 months, see if it's gotten any better. But where it's at right now, at least with the basic prompt like the one I use, it's not going to get very far. You do have the ability, as you saw, to be more specific and prompt it and keep following through. But now you really got to be curious right now. So now you open up an opportunity to potentially get lost in the process and kind of lose yourself in where you were in those 15, 16 steps that we walked through. So I would have liked for this detailed information to be in the steps, just like they were with the first 5 or so steps, because that was very detailed and that actually walked me through what I needed to do. But having to go on these tangents, probably not the best thing for an admin or a new beginner at least. But rest assured that I think with some tweaking and I think with some institutional knowledge, you could probably use ChatGPT maybe to get to a 7 or 8 out of 10. I think there's still enough tribal knowledge that you really only learn by doing or by watching other professionals like myself. And so I wouldn't bet my salary on ChatGPT just yet. But again, with some tweaking, I can bump it up to a 7 or an 8 out of 10. But as it is, just with that basic prompt, definitely like a 3.5 or a 4. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and then share it with anybody who you think is telling you that your job is going to be replaced by AI. We're still not there, at least not with respect to a Jira admin. Let me know if you'd like for me to do one on Rovo and see if Rovo can replace me as a Jira admin. I have even less faith in Rovo right now. I'd probably give that one a 1 out of 10. But if you're interested in that, let me know down in the comment section down below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.